Hey everyone, Jump Rope Warriors. As always, I hope you're doing awesome wherever you are. As you can see, the sun is setting in the background, so it's an absolutely perfect evening to get a great jump rope workout in. At the very beginning of the workout, I'm going to go into a lot of double unders, let's say maybe 100, just to get the heart rate going and to get me breathing very hard at the beginning of the workout. Oftentimes when the going gets tough, when we're breathing hard, naturally we just want to stop and rest. But a good strategy is to try to just slow down the pace and try to slow down your breathing as well. Hey everyone, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. What an awesome jump rope workout that was. 17 minutes of straight jumping rope with no rest, and I included various jump rope moves, various intensities, from a lot of advanced moves like double unders to double under crisscrosses. I included lots of boxer steps, heel toes, heel taps, rear toe taps, a lot of crisscrosses with running crisscrosses, 2 feet crisscrosses. So a lot of fun, and a lot of other more intermediate jump rope moves like crossing your feet while you jump, the shuffles, the alley shuffles, various boxer steps, the jab step, and a lot more beginner jump rope moves like regular 2-footed jumps, which I did towards the end because that's a very difficult move for your calf muscles. I did some bell hops, some skier jumps, some straddle jumps. So it's a really fun jump rope workout. And because I didn't stop throughout the workout, when I did more intense jump rope moves, I really had to focus on controlling my breathing. After the intense jump rope moves, I had to slow down my breathing and drop my pace of the jump rope moves I was using. So I kept varied the intensity of the workout. It's a fantastic way to boost stamina, to increase VO2 max. And when you work out, and if you include a lot of hard jump rope moves, like a lot of double unders, for example, at the very beginning of the workout, I did over 100 double unders to get my heartbeat up, to get me breathing hard. Those type of moves fatigue you, and when you're fatigued, your coordination suffers. So I like to include a lot of difficult jump rope moves in when I do duration workouts like that, because those moves fatigue you and it causes you to have to focus a lot more. When you're fatigued, doing any jump rope move becomes that much more difficult. So oftentimes when I'm doing hard intensity workouts, I like to include a lot of crisscrosses, because those crisscrosses become a lot more difficult to coordinate when your body is fatigued and you're breathing more hard. All right, well, I really hope you guys enjoy this workout, and I'll do some commentary during the workout. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, everyone. 17 minutes of fun, great cardio, and now I'm just gonna relax for an hour, do a little bit of walking around here, go inside, drink some water, shower, and then later eat, meet a friend for a movie tonight. Looking forward to it, feeling great. Thanks, guys.
Hey again, everyone. So I'm adding this audio just as I watched the video myself for the first time, and I noticed in the top right hand corner there's an airplane cutting through the sky and leaving a nice trail behind it. I think it's such an awesome sight and sound, seeing airplanes fly through the sky, and reminds me of my childhood in some ways. When I was little, my father and my brothers, we used to go to a local airport and we used to watch airplanes fly. It was a lot of fun, and there were ponds nearby, and we used to try to catch frogs, and we would release them too. But it's just a bit of fun when you're a kid, and having airplanes fly overhead, watching them land and take off was really cool. But once a year we used to watch fighter jets put on performances, so that was a lot of fun. And even these days I still love seeing and hearing fighter jets fly through the sky. I think it's just an absolutely incredible invention, fighter jets. The speeds at which they fly and how they can maneuver, it's absolutely incredible. This workout, it was a lot more difficult than it may look. The previous few days I had done a lot of running, so my legs were quite fatigued, and even though it is spring and the weather is warming up, there was still a bit of a chill in the air, and anytime it's cold it becomes a little bit more difficult to breathe, but it just adds to the challenge factor of the workout. So I actually did this workout a couple days ago, and right now I'm adding this audio. It's morning time here, so I have a cup of coffee in my right hand, and I'm watching the video for the first time. The day after this workout, my fiance and I, we decided to take a spontaneous trip to a beach, which was about a 4-hour drive away. It was just such a lovely day. The temperature was about 13 degrees. It was sunny, so we decided, let's hop in the car and go. And the journey is often one of the best parts of taking a spontaneous trip like that. Now, listening to music, chatting, having some snacks in the car, pulling over and resting for a little while. It's so much fun, and we had to do a lot of driving there and back. We did over 600 kilometers, but it's absolutely just so much fun. I love taking spontaneous trips and doing things spontaneously. I often find that in our daily lives, we often have to plan so much. So, you know, when I have downtime, free time, I often just like to leave things open and play things by ear, play things by ear, and just see what comes of the day. So right now I'm doing some crisscrosses, and this workout I jumped rope for 17 minutes straight. I just set my clock for 17 minutes, and the idea was to jump rope for the entire duration without stopping, and ideally without making any mistakes. And I included a variety of jump rope moves from like beginner level to more advanced. And it's one thing being able to perform advanced jump rope moves while you are fresh, but when you are tired, performing such moves becomes a lot more difficult. So when I jump rope, I often love including advanced jump rope moves or high intensity moves with lower duration jump rope, and without coming to a stop. If you perform high intensity jump rope moves, your heart is going to be beating faster, you're going to be breathing much harder, and as I said in the introduction, you're going to want to come to a rest, you want to stop. But instead, try not stopping, just try to slow down your breathing, slow the pace at which you're working out, and just see if you can recover. And then when you feel recovered, maybe not completely recovered, because I still want to push myself, throw in some more intense jump rope moves. Keep stepping up the intensity, dropping down the intensity, varying it like that. It can add an element of challenge and a lot of fun to your workouts. So right now I'm just doing some running, some alternate footsteps, and as you can see, I make use of the space that's available. On the rooftop here, it's quite open and there's a lot of space. And when I jump rope, I don't like staying in the same spot, so you'll never see me jumping rope on a mat. I just find it's too confining. And I understand the rationale for jumping rope on mats because it can protect the rope, but I just love the feeling of being free, moving while I jump rope. And you know, if you watch boxers or when they jump rope, they often do the same. They make use of open space. They treat the space almost as if it's a ring. So when they're jumping rope, they're moving around as if they were in a boxing ring. So right now I'm just doing some heel toes, some heel taps, just doing some nice footwork moves. This was a very fun workout, but definitely hard at the same time. I threw in over 100 double unders there right at the beginning, and that caused some fatigue. And because I didn't come to a stop, I just had to push myself through the fatigue, try to recover, and just continue jumping rope. So it's a fantastic way to increase stamina, endurance, and VO2 max, to increase your cardiovascular and lung capacity. If you push yourself hard but don't come to a complete rest, just do some recovery, skipping a recovery exercise, and then push up the intensity again. And you may have noticed at the beginning of this workout, I didn't actually do too much of a warm-up. I just did some boxer skips for about 30 seconds, and I went straight into double unders. So some people might be wondering, do I warm up before I skip? Yes and no. Usually every morning when I wake up, I go outside while I'm waiting for coffee to brew, and I do some joint mobility exercises. I stretch for a little while, and always throughout the day, I'm always stretching like a cat. I'm just doing a little bit of stretching here and there. So anytime I jump rope, I'm already warmed up basically anytime when I exercise, because I'm always stretching and loosening up throughout the day. So sometimes I can just go into maybe a slow jump rope move at the beginning and then step up the pace immediately if I want, without getting injured. But that's something I've kind of practiced over the years. When I first started jumping rope, I would have had to warm up and stretch beforehand just to loosen up my body, my ankles in particular, as well as my back. So I'm just doing some double unders, and I was working on some footage recently for a double under tutorial that I want to make. I've made a few videos on double unders, and I want to make a few more because it's a move that a lot of people would like to get better at, and with a few improvements in technique, it's certainly a move that you can get better at quite rapidly with practice and patience. Just doing some easy side swings there. Even those become a lot more difficult when you're fatigued. When I'm jumping rope outside, as I said there, I love being free. I love making use of the space, moving around, and I love looking out at the surroundings. So I'm on the roof here, and I often look down upon cars driving by through the neighborhood and people walking around, and I look at the sky in the distance, and there's a lot of mountains in the distance. So it's just a nice sight. I love exercising outside, getting some fresh air, some sunshine if the sun is out, and just looking around in the distance. Oftentimes we spend so much time indoors looking at objects not too far in front of our eyes. We might be looking at a TV, a laptop, a computer, or our phone. So I think it's great to get outside and exercise and focus on things or look at things in the distance. Really good, not only for, it's really good for your eyes, looking at things in the distance, as opposed to just always looking at things directly in front of your face. See another airplane in the background there. So during this workout, I'm noticing that I did quite a few double unders. I may count afterwards, just out of curiosity. I recently did over 300 double unders in a row. And the rope I was using, it was nothing special, not a speed rope, not a cable rope, quite a heavy rope in fact, and there was no ball bearings or anything at the handle to help speed the rope, to help spin the rope. So over 300 double unders, I was quite happy with that. It's very difficult in terms of stamina and not making any mistakes when you get tired. One day I may have to try doing double unders with a thin cable rope or speed rope, but I don't know, I kind of like just using basic. I like being able to perform tricks with any rope. I don't want to have to rely on a particular brand of rope or a particular style of rope to be able to perform tricks. If you're able to do tricks and intense moves with the most basic of jump ropes, then you'll have far less trouble doing them with better jump ropes. You know, I've seen documentaries on golfers and athletes like ice hockey players, and the equipment that they used to use years ago, like the golf clubs, for example, years ago, they're not quite as advanced as the ones that golfers use nowadays. They might have been heavier, more cumbersome to swing, but yet those golfers back in those days, they could still drive the ball and play very well. Same with ice hockey players. I'm a big ice hockey fan, and back in the old days, players used to use just wood sticks, but nowadays there's all different materials: fiberglass, aluminum, and yet those players back in the old days, they could still perform pretty darn well. So sometimes I think nowadays we look too much to external things rather than just our own technique, making use of what we have. Okay, well, I'll wrap this audio up in just a minute. If you haven't jumped rope before, or perhaps you've tried jumping rope before but maybe you didn't enjoy it, I highly recommend giving it another shot. You know, when I first started jumping rope, the first time I tried it, I was a little kid, probably in elementary school or maybe even before that. And then I tried it a few times since then, and I never really enjoyed it because my technique was terrible. I was jumping so high off the ground, I was swinging my arms, and I couldn't string a couple jumps together in a row without the rope getting caught in my leg. But once I started learning proper technique, geez, it became so much fun. And then when you learn good technique, and the world of jumping rope really opens up to you. Once you get good form down, then you can start adding more advanced jump rope moves into your kind of repertoire, and it becomes so much fun. And not only is it fun, but it's an absolutely fantastic exercise for your body and your mind. Just the other day, actually, I saw a program on BBC, on the BBC Earth, and they were talking about the benefits of jumping for bone strength, and that's something I've talked about in previous videos. Jumping rope is absolutely fantastic for building stronger, more dense bones, and that's particularly important as you get older. If you're young right now and you're watching this, sometimes we can take our health for granted, but doing positive things now like jumping rope is going to have a big impact on your health in later life. And having strong bones is definitely important to living well and living long. Another thing, speaking of living long, is the importance of grip strength. In a previous video, I talked about the importance of training your grip and how important grip can be for overall strength and health, and even possibly how long you could live. So I highly recommend watching the video which I released about a week ago on grip, and I encourage you to start doing some grip work. For example, hanging from a chin-up bar or a pull-up bar often. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone.